All right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, I'm in a little bit of a bland surrounding compared to usual, but I just really felt like I needed to jump back on the live with everybody. It's been a while since I've done a live on this channel. I have posted episodes to the podcast, and I continue to post a lot of my offline conversations to the podcast channel. So if you were thinking that we weren't posting or you were looking for new episodes, new conversations, always please check the Apple Podcast channel, Spotify. We have multiple conversations in there, and actually some of our first ones with women and men involved. So again, I just like to start out all the shows with just explaining why I do this, why I do these streams and podcasts. And at the end of the day, it's all for the fellas. Ladies, I'm happy to have you here and happy to have you listen and, share your points of view on the comments. But, all of this conversation is really it's really, I guess, for the benefit of men out there who are struggling with their attraction to women in the trans community and, really trying to find themselves. Hopefully, we offer a conversation that allows them to think, allows them to feel a lot more normal and, feel like they're not so alone. But as always, there is a trigger warning on all shows. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Me and my fellas, we keep it real. We say how we feel. So it's gonna lay however it's gonna lay, but we tell the truth as we see it. So before I get into the conversation, though, I wanted to yet again feature a Black trans business. And my friend, who you guys will meet very shortly, she started a salon and she does a whole lot of, actually, I'm not even going to explain it. I'm just let her come on because I don't know everything that I'm talking about. So, and she's yawning. See, so Sean, welcome to the show.
Hey, Sean. How y'all?
So, Sean, tell everybody about your business because we featured you once on the show before, but that was before you had the actual location. And now you have that beautiful salon you're in right now.
Thank you. Yes. Featured me the first time. It was about my skincare. I own a skincare line. My line is basically made for people of any skin type, whether you're oily, dry, combo, whatever. It's a whole full line of a cleanser, toner, moisturizer, face oil. I have machines, facial cleansing machines, blackhead vacuum machines. Since then, I do have another line for geared towards men, and also people who have maskne or have breakouts from masks. It's a line of tea tree products. But also since then, I have graduated esthetician school. I'm a licensed esthetician now, and I also own a salon. This is my salon. Um, this is the front half of it. My half is in the back. But I'm also a salon owner. I went out of school and decided to open my own business instead of working for somebody else. So now what I do is I can give other people a place to work. So I have rentals, bed rentals for people who are fresh out of school and are building up clientele. I also have
Mhm.
which are suites where people can be their own business as well. And my part is
So what turns you on to esthetician, being an esthetician? Like what drew you to that?
um I started doing lashes. Now I don't even do lashes. You can't pay me to do lashes. I don't like them. I bet. But that's how I started doing lashes. In a lot of states, in order to do lashes, you have to be a licensed esthetician. And when I went to school, I found out it was so much other stuff I could be doing as far as skincare. Um, being a woman, being skincare is a big thing. It's a really big thing. It's always been a big thing for me since I transitioned 18 years ago. skincare has been a definite thing that has been close to my heart as far as um, transition, keeping yourself safe and different things like that. So it's always been a number one concern. So it kind of came
Okay.
from nature doing skincare.
Okay. Um, so you transitioned, you got into uh, you became a licensed esthetician. You're pursuing your dreams, and what would you say was the largest hurdle to you pursuing your dreams? Like, what was the biggest bump in the road?
There's been a lot of bumps. Um, there's more bumps that you don't have a show long enough for all the bumps. But the main thing is I was incarcerated. When I got out of prison 5 years ago, I decided to get 2 degrees in social work and case management. That's where it started. I got married and divorced. And my divorce led me into losing my job in social work. And I had to figure out that I wanted to have a job to where no one could fire me, to where no one could let me go, to where no one could find out about my past or that I was trans and decide that they don't want me to work there anymore, which is what happens in North Carolina because we're in North Carolina. So eh, that happens here. So I really wanted to start something to where I didn't have to worry about nobody being able to let me go from a job. Now my only person that I work for are and they get a chance to meet me and get to know me themselves without having to know all the extra stuff.
Okay. And I just got one last question for you. And this is really for all the girls out there watching. What advice would you have to other women in the trans community who are out there who are aspiring entrepreneurs?
I would tell them just keep going, don't give up. To be honest with you, focusing on yourself rather than a relationship. Because it seems like when I got out of my relationship and I started giving all that same love to myself that I was giving to other people, so many big things started happening. And don't ever count yourself out. Because I've been to prison, I've been an escort, sex worker, everything else under the moon. But like that stuff doesn't define you. It's a small part of your whole life story. It's like a chapter in a book. It's not your whole book. And if you keep focusing on it, then everybody else is going to focus on it. But at the end of the day, we all can do, and we are much more than what we do sometimes, or our past, or our mistakes. Or if you just, I mean, I would never say that anything I have done is a mistake. There all have been learning lessons and stepping stones to get here where I am. So we all have a different journey and a different path, and we go about it different ways. But um, just know when it's your time. When it's your time, you just go for it. Feels good, go for
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, thanks for joining us this evening, everybody. Adore Me Cosmetics in Greensboro, North Carolina. If you find yourself in that city, roll through.
it. Definitely.
Show some love. Support Black trans businesses out there because it ain't that many. We need to support all the ones that show up. So, and what's the website that everybody can visit to buy your cosmetics?
My website is www.adoremedolls.cosmetics.com. You can follow me at adore_underscore dolls on Instagram or Adore Me Dolls on Facebook. You can shop directly from your Instagram or your Facebook page. You don't even have to go to the website. Adore Me Dolls, Facebook, Instagram. You can shop straight from there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, cool. Everybody, get to this website, buy some skincare products, fellas. You listening to this? It's cosmetics.com. Go to the website, get some skincare products, fellas.
You,
Take care of yourself. That's some new shit. Fellas, we got to take care of our skin.
even if you can't buy, you can share a post, like, comment, All that stuff is important. You don't necessarily have to be able to buy some any kind of.
All right. Well, y'all heard it from her. Support, like, comment, share, do all that good stuff to get some more, get her some more exposure. Share her posts in your Instagram stories. I tend to do that once in a while myself, but you know, I'm just really proud to see that Sean put all that together. Like, if y'all go to her Instagram page, you will
Oh,
see
yeah.
all these pictures of this facility. Like, what she put together there was really something else. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank
Like,
you.
it's very dope, and I love seeing my sisters succeed like this. So everybody, please support. Get to the website, buy some product, share it, follow her on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Like, really, you need to show up, y'all. So that's all I just said. My piece. Now do. And we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna jump into the main topic. So we'll be right back in a second.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I had to get some stuff straight before we move on to the main topic of the show. And this main topic is something I think I talked about before in another stream or somebody else's stream. I had so many conversations out here that have not been on the stream on this channel. Some of y'all listening on audio podcasts might have heard it. But look, we need a whole lot more peace and a whole lot less war in this community right now. Anybody who's been out here in these Facebook groups, you look in these Facebook groups and the way that men and women in this community are interacting, and it's a full-on gender war. I mean, it's when people go into these groups, the main thing that they see is hate for men and hate for women. I think some of the groups are doing a little bit better job at toning down the hate for women, with removal of certain people. We're not going to name names. We all know what happened. If you don't, then you don't. But I feel like as a community, we can't get ourselves anywhere positive until we figure out how to come together. So I'm gonna bring my boys Mike and Trail on right now, and we're just gonna talk about it. We're just gonna talk about what we're seeing from our point of view as men, and our thoughts on it. So, what's going on, Mike?
Chilling.
And Trail.
What's going on?
Brother Trail, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining me, fellas, once again for a whole nother podcast. We are all in these Facebook groups, and it gets a little muddy out there, fellas. So, there is blood on Facebook out there. People going for the jugulars. I think there's, from my perspective, I'm seeing a whole lot of like girls jump on there saying, "Well, these trans attracted men ain't shit," and whatever else, and I'm just like, "Well, damn, like everybody ain't shit. Everybody suck." Like, okay. And for all you men out there listening, because I really like to hear all this for the brothers, I like to hear all this to the men who are just kind of entering this space and this life and stuff. And guys, when you jump into these Facebook groups, be prepared. Be prepared for some negativity. Be prepared for some anti-cis male sentiment. That doesn't mean that all the girls in the community hate cis men. That just means the few girls that are in those groups have been really hurt. And they're really feeling the pain that they've gone through. And they don't know how to communicate without lashing out. Like they don't know how to communicate without, exuding all of their hurt and pain and just firing it off on anybody. So, as I said in an earlier episode, a lot of times when people come at you sideways, fellas, when you see some hate come your way and you don't even know that person or you didn't even do nothing, a lot of times it's more about them than you. It's some shit going on with them or something that happened with them that like that's the source of it. So it usually, a lot of times, it ain't even something you did, something you said. They're going through some shit and they're trying to work through it. But, I just had to get that quick explainer in there before we delved into what we're seeing in these groups. But Trail, I know we talked about this earlier today, man. You know, what you seeing out there? What you thinking?
Like I said before, you know, it's crazy how these girls will really like come down on us, and it's bugged out. And me personally, I said this before to a few other gentlemen. I was like, yo, this is why I don't really be in the groups like that. You know, the crazy thing about it, I have a group of my own, you know, and I don't really, you know, I post everything in that group because somebody asked me before, like, oh, this is not translated. I'm like, yo, we humans. What are you talking about? I'm gonna post everything. But anyway, you know, when it comes to being in these groups, I'll try not to really be all up in these groups and everything. If I see a post that I see and I relate to it a lot, I just give my feedback on it and that's it. I fall back. But other than that, I don't really be in these groups like that because all these groups is messy. You know, a lot of the girls in there, you know, are hurt girls. You know, they've been through a lot, especially the experience, especially if they are, you know, more of a seasoned, mature trans women out here. They really been through a lot, you know, from a very young age, you know. And like Harmony has said this before, hurt people. And I really see that because I'm like, yo, wow, these girls been hurt a lot so bad that when you see a guy that's just being genuine off the rip, you don't even know if he's being genuine because some dudes probably came to them genuinely, acting like they care, acting like they want to be, you know, be with them and stuff like that. And they showed them something totally different, which is real messed up at the end of the day, you know, me personally. So it's like, you know, I understand to a certain degree, but it's like all the bashing and everything like that, it really needs to stop because, you know, a guy like me who actually goes to events supporting trans women and go to rallies and marches and supporting trans women, I have stopped. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I have stopped because of the bashing. You know, girls will see me like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Why are you here? You weird, this and that. You trying to get a girl, this and that. What are you talking about? I'm not pushing up on nobody. When I come up there, I don't push up on anybody. I have friends that tell me about these events, and I show up. You know what I mean? And supporting them. You know, now at the point in time, I even tell some of my people now, like, yo, I'll support you. You know, I'm down for you, but at the end of the day, I can't really put my whole all into it because I get ridiculed just by being there and showing my support. You know, and it sucks. You know, I'm not looking for how you say, I'm not looking for any type of um you know, props or anything like that or some certain type of stature. I don't care about that. I'm just saying to stop the bashing because there's guys like me out here that actually really care and actually don't mind putting the work into it to show you that it's guys like me that really out here caring. You feel me? And they ain't looking for nothing out of it because I'm damn sure not looking for nothing out of it. All right? I say that all the time. I'm not looking for nothing. I'm not in all these girls' inboxes. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I mean? I have real friends that's in this community that I love and dearly and I'm supporting and I'm doing it for them. You know, so knock it off. But yeah, that's basically my point of view for it.
Knock it off. But yeah, and Mike, I want to give you a chance to speak here, man. You know, speak on what you're seeing out here, bro.
I mean, I agree with Shaw right there. Like to be honest with you, the bashing has got to stop because, like he said, like there are men out here who do care and are genuine. You know, so it's like to kind of judge an entire group of people off of just the mistakes of a few that they've ran into. You know, it's not right to go ahead and just have us pay for their mistakes. You know, because like let's say I get cheated on by a woman, right? You know, I'm not going to say like, okay, every woman that looks like her needs to be canceled out because she did one bad thing to me. You know, no, if I see another woman that has like similar attributes, but can bring more to the table, then by all means, you know, I'm not going to judge her for somebody else.
Yeah, I think I said that before. I think I said this before on the show, but look, I didn't come into this space to be Jesus Christ. I'm not here to take on everybody else's sin. I'm here to take on whatever the fuck Chris did. I can own up to that shit and take care of that. But I did not come here to take care of what Mike did, what Trail did, what Roy did, what somebody else, David did, what Chris, some other Christopher did. Like Tommy did this shit. Jaquan, Jamal, whoever the fuck, like all these niggas doing all that shit. Like I don't know them motherfuckers from nothing. And it's just like I know that that's a part of it, but men, I want ladies to really understand, and fellas, don't be. I'll say for the fellas, do your best not to be caught off guard by it. You listen to this show, you've been warned, you know what may be coming. And then on the flip side, ladies, y'all don't know how caught off guard a lot of dudes are about that shit. And I have to be honest, a lot of that negativity I'll say it like this. I know brothers that's been like, you know what? I don't need to put up with all this shit. I'm going back to cis women. And they out. They don't have to
deal with that. I know a few that did that.
And I'm not saying that, that all the girls are losing out with every single one of these dudes, but there are guys that show up and they just want to be, they just want to be given an honest shot. And it's just like, oh yeah, but you're a chaser. Oh yeah, you just trash because you're a man, you're bad. And like I think removing the narrative that men are bad could, really, I don't know. I'll say it like this. Maybe we start to instill the peace by speaking in absolutes less. And just say, well, you know what? Some of them guys do this. Some of these guys do that. Because whenever they're in these groups, they say, well, men do this. Then, those of us who aren't that are like, hey, but all guys aren't like that. I'm not like that. He's not like that. Like, there are good guys out here. And on the flip side, one thing I want to make sure to say, because it has been noted that I don't say it enough. Fellas, I'm going to start with this point. I know I'm all over the place and monologuing right now, y'all. But fellas, these groups, a lot of these Facebook groups, I'm going to just be real. And everybody listening from the groups just be upset with me. But a lot of these groups are filled with some of the worst the community has to offer. I'm going to just be real. Like, these are not the best women that the community has to offer in terms of examples of, people who should represent the trans community. This is not, don't go to these groups and think, oh, this is the trans community. No. There's plenty of girls that don't muck around in these groups. Plenty of girls that's about their business doing something else. There's plenty of girls that's about their business in these groups. But when you meet some of the angry, chicks who's just on some weird shit, like, don't take that as a sample size for the audience. Like, really don't. And then on the flip side of that, I'm just telling the guys not to label all the girls. But then on the flip side, fellas, we can't label all the girls as bad because there's a lot of good women out there. They may not be, they're the best women typically are the least visible ones. The ones I talk to women, they're just like, it's just so hard to find a guy who is this, and this. And I'm just like, yeah, because you're not visible. Like, nobody knows you're here. Like, if you were positioned in a way where guys like Mike could see you, you'd probably get a DM. If, positioned in a way like any of our friends could see them, like, they'd be visible. I just think that there are a lot of good women out here who look and they're just like, why are these guys following these Instagram girls? Why are these guys following these girls? I don't identify with what those girls are saying because I'm not a part of a community like that, or it's so much diversity in the community, and it's just, I know I just blurted out a bunch of ideas, but it's just, I had all this just weighing on my mind, and I'm just like, I don't know how to get us on the right track. Maybe we just start out with not making absolutes, like all the girls are this and all the girls are that. We just had a woman on this show that obviously was not about getting money from niggas, and her life was not limited to sex work. There's plenty of girls out here that's getting a paper and achieving and have ambition and drive and dreams that don't revolve around that life. A lot of girls mature and grow up and move into a different mindset. So, that's another side of, the side of things, just dispel stereotypes. Because the outside world has stereotypes, but then they get kind of confirmed by some of the guys. Some of the guys come in here and they're confirmed by some of the women that they encounter in these groups or on Instagram or on Twitter.
Yeah. And I say that all the time too. I'll be like, you can't play into the stereotypes when it comes to this community, because You know, me, I'm not, you know, I mean, I talked about this before. I'm not fully against sex work. You know, the only thing about it with sex work is, you know, I just wish it wasn't glorified in a sense that it is. Like, it's really glorified to the point, you know. But then again, these girls are grown. They want to do what they want to do. Go ahead. I ain't knocking it, you know. That's why I said I'd rather have, like, if I was in a relationship with a girl that was into that lifestyle, I would rather have a OnlyFans because it's more safer. You know, like I said, I can't really be in a relationship with a girl that's doing sex work because I don't want to get the call saying she's in a hospital or worse, she's in a morgue. You know, that's one thing that's the reason why I mainly can't really do it. You know what I mean? But I have nothing against it at all because at the end of the day, you know, we all have a past. We all got to get paid. You know, I have a past also. You know that. You know, I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think the things that I'm not even proud of. I don't even like speaking on it. But you know, I had to do what I had to do to make money. You know, and I don't knock no girl hustle at all. At all. Get your money. Like, I mean, I don't knock it at all. This is a cruel world. I already know how it is. You know, everybody's very prejudiced against when it comes to trans women. So, you know, they're not willing to, even the girl could be so qualified for the job or even overqualified for the job. They still won't give it to her because of what she is, which is real fucked
Mm-hmm.
up. You know? So, you know, I mean, sorry not to curse, but it's real messed up and it's dead wrong. And then you got good girls, because you got good girls that actually result to the sex work, which I know a lot of, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I tell them all the time. I mean, I'm not a firm believer in God, but I do keep you in my prayers. I mean, I pray to some type of higher power to watch over them. You know, like please, I mean, this girl's a good girl. I mean, what she's doing is wrong, but she got to make a living some way somehow. You know, so you
Mm-hmm.
know,
I
just
mean,
to
I don't even
say,
see it
just
as
to speak on
wrong.
that a little bit.
Like right or wrong, all that bullshit. Like she doing what she got to do. Ain't no, you know. I think our society makes it so that this is right and this is wrong. You know, in their Christian bullshit dynamic, where what one thing is legal and another thing isn't. We pick and choose the sins we
Right.
vilify. And I'm not saying prostitution is a sin specifically, because I'm not a particularly high, superiorly religious person myself.
Well,
So,
actually,
what up, bro?
one thing, technically, I mean, like I haven't really been to church in a long time, but I did take religious instruction when I was a kid because you know your parents send you and shit. But
Mm-hmm.
if you do go into the Bible, supposedly Mary Magdalene was into prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, it's in the Bible, and Mary Magdalene isn't considered like shunned or anything like that. Like whatever the devil or whatever. No, she was right there by Jesus. So
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah,
saying.
it's from society, the bullshit judgment from religious society and shit, man. So, I think my issue with when it comes to sex work, and the reason why I brought it up is because I'm really talking to the guys who are interested in engaging in anything that resembles a healthy romantic relationship with women in the trans community and a healthy monogamous one. So it's just like, guys, obviously, I would just say, like, if you're looking for that and the girl that you like she isn't in a state of mind where she's ready to give that up, like, there's plenty of other girls who have given it up or who are moving in that direction. I'm just saying, like, that stereotype of men, I keep trying to find a girl in this community and they're all sex workers. That's not the case. That's not the case. Those are just a lot of times the girls that ain't ready to give that lifestyle up. A lot of times they're just the most visible ones. And I have to be honest. I've had really good luck on dating apps. I don't inbox women on Facebook. I mean, I may have friends on Facebook, but I don't inbox anybody that I'm trying to talk to on Facebook. I go through dating apps for all that stuff because a lot of times, women turn to those when they're actually looking to be with somebody one on one. Granted, there are people that I know. I would say like this: there are some people out there. Now, I can't even say it's a lot, but I'm sure there's a few women out there who are looking for something, but they still don't want to give up the sex work life. I know one girl right now who, is hoping that her man is going to propose to her, and she ain't never gave up that life. He allowed her to continue it for some reason. But that's their business. I'm just saying, there are exceptions to all the rules, and there's lots of different variations on, you know, relationships and stuff in terms of what we see out here. But I guess we kind of got way off topic with the make love not war thing, but I just think we need to work in a world that has less absolutes, and we're not painting broad brushes for each group. You know, guys, if you get a girl and let's say a girl took you out some money or something bad happened, okay, that's just that one girl. That's what that one girl did, but that ain't. Man, see, all these girls be doing this, this, and this. That's not what it is. Like, don't let the shit turn you angry or bitter or nothing like that. Like, don't let it turn you into something that you're not. You know, I've had some bad interactions and some bad even relationships where I turn around, I'm like, God damn, I just got gamed. That doesn't, I don't let that take away my light and my optimism that I can find love in this community and I can be happy. So, you know, fellas, just don't let that taint you, really, because I can only speak to the fellas right now. I have not gone through the experience of any of the women, so I'm just not even going to tell them. I'm not even going to say nothing in that direction. But what was it? What the fuck was it? Oh, this other thing that we saw in the groups today, and maybe yesterday a little bit. It's been some battling over DL culture in these Facebook groups, and I've been surprised to see some women in the group like really cap for it. And you know, I can say as time goes on, my opinions about things evolve. While I would never suggest a man be DL, I feel like I'm a lot less militant and I'm a lot less black or white about it. Like, I was really hard for like, fuck them DL niggas, this, and this. They need to stand up. They need to do this. They need to do that. And while that is all true, I've mellowed on it a little bit because, you know, not everybody intends to go. Not everybody intends to change and transform and grow. Some guys just intend to stay DL or they intend to just stay trade. And that's, you know, they have no aspirations to actually do right by the girls. And I'm sorry, not do right by the girls. They have no aspirations of having that public storybook relationship with the girl that she's, you know, been dreaming of since she saw a Disney movie once upon a time. I believe Disney ruined our generation. Just saying. But I don't know, man. Like where do y'all fall at on this whole like, you know, DL thing, like fellas being DL? Because it seems like some of the girls are like, there's a purpose. They found purpose with some of these DL niggas. They found use for them. And like there might be a place for them in this ecosystem that we're in. Mike, I'll toss it over to Mike first because he was shaking his head. He ain't feeling it.
I mean, I understand for some dudes that, you know, maybe they're just starting to learn about their attraction for trans women and they're afraid of like coming out to their family or say in the business world, because having lived in Georgia before, I know down there a job can fire you just because they see you as being a certain way. Like even if they don't like the color of your shoes, they could fire you. Like they have that right.
Wow.
So yeah, so I understand why they would be afraid, but at the same time, I've also seen where that can lead to the girls being murdered. And to be honest with you, I'd rather see the girls live than really give two fucks about whether or not you're comfortable about coming out to your friends or your family or, you know, to a job, whatever, you know, because if you feel as though you can't get a career in a right to work state, which is what Georgia is, then move the fuck out. Like, you know, I moved back up to New York. So, you know, it's like, don't pigeonhole yourself to having to live, say, quote unquote, in the closet or something like that, And then all these girls end up getting to a point where, yeah, they might be seeing your DLS, and then your DLS starts harboring all these feelings to the point where all of a sudden you explode, and that explosion ends up being their life.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, period. That's the way I feel.
Brother Trev?
Okay, me personally, I knew a few guys as DL, and I never understood why I be DL, because if you live, like me personally, if you live in your truth, nobody can use your truth against you. So I mean, that's what basically what I came to terms with. Well, me personally, I never was DL, so I don't really know how the maneuver in that lifestyle, but it's some that were they out now. It was some that's still on a low, you know. But I'm gonna just speak on this part right here. It's hard for a person to be out, right? When you against your quote unquote heterosexual community, looking at you off top like you're gay, you're the worst type, especially if you're black. You're the worst type of black man in situations like that. So now you have a person that's about this life, you know what I mean, get ridiculed by the women in this lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not speaking up for DL men at all. I'm just looking at it, I'm playing devil's advocate because I'm looking at it because I'm like, all right, if this person was out, how would this person be perceived? How would this person be welcome? It's hard to be welcome in a community that actually, practically damn near hates itself. Let's call it what it is. I don't care how anybody feel about me even saying that, but it's real talk at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want someone to be down for you. You want something to complain about and stuff like that. And me personally, it's corny and it needs to stop. But to go back to what the main things we were saying is like, I'm not for the DL thing at all. I'm not with it. You know me. But then again, who am I to say, yo, live your truth? Live your truth. I can't force nobody to come out. Nobody can force anybody to come out. It's up to that person to feel comfortable and want to come out. You understand me? So,
That's true.
I mean, me personally, and I mean, Roy was speaking about something in his groups earlier about that, and a girl, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. She said it's a difference between DL and discretion and being discreet.
Yeah,
So I
that
said,
one.
okay. I say, yeah, it is.
That's a thin
Like for
line.
real. At the end of the day,
What?
it is. Because me
How?
personally,
How?
huh?
I said, how is that? How is there a difference? Explain the
Oh, it is
explain
a
the
difference.
difference.
I'm gonna explain on my behalf. Me personally, I don't like a lot of people in my business. Even to this day, I'm open about everything, and even to today, I don't like a whole lot of people in my business because I don't feel like I have to always explain myself all the time. If I feel like I have to explain myself all the time, then you're not listening or trying to understand. But then again, at the end of the day, it's not meant for everybody to understand. But at the end of the day, me, I'm not. I know everybody's not going to understand. But at the end of the day, I want everybody to respect it. That's all. I don't care about all of that. But being discreet is different. Me, I didn't really like how you say. I was never on the DL. I just hung out with a lot of girls when I was younger and things like that. Because at the end of the day, I wasn't in a relationship with none of them. I was just dating them. And I tell people all the time, there's a difference between dating and being in a relationship. I was just dating them. It wasn't nothing really serious. You know, until I got into my relationship. Now that I say, you know what, I'm gonna show her that I'm really for her and things like that because this is my first relationship being in one. So I said I'm gonna show her that I'm really for her, even though she never asked me to or never wanted me to. But I just took it upon myself, and said, yo, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show her that I'm not discreet or DL, none of that. She already knew that off top, but I had to let her know and clear the whole way. You know, that's what I mean. Getting in this relationship, before I got in the relationship, I came out to my family and let them know, like, yo, this is me. At the end of the day, and they accepted it to a certain degree, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But that's why I said it's a difference between being discreet and being DL. Because if you're DL, you're not out at all. The only time you were around the girls is in an exclusive neighborhood where they're only at. You're only with them in the dark. You're never out in the light with them. You're not walking around with them. You're not posting on your Facebook page with them or anything like that, or anything of the above, you know? So, you know, like I said, I had friends, before I even came out, I had friends. I used to talk to my mother on the phone because I said I was never on the DL, but I was discreet. I wasn't with them. I wasn't in a relationship with them, so it's nothing to really like talk about. Until I got in a relationship, that's when I came. That's when I really explaining to everybody what it is. So yeah, I don't know if anybody got it, but yeah, that's basically. I don't want to take up all the time, but yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, it's a thin line between discreet and being on the DL. And I don't know if anybody got it, can't or understand it. But hey, it is what it is. You know, like they said, it's a thin line between love and hate. I didn't understand that until I got older. I'm like, oh shit, they ain't lying. It's really a thin line between love and hate. So,
yeah.
same thing. So, you know.
It was a whole movie about it.
Right. And I watched it when I was a kid. As I got older, I said, yo, I was saying the girl was crazy back then. Now that I'm old, I'm like, yo, she wasn't crazy. she just, he made her go crazy. Just put it that way. She just got sick and tired. So,
man, let's address this comment right here. So it's from Ashley. Just for the people that's listening, I got to read this out, y'all. So she says, I believe with some men, it's not about being DL, it's about being private versus open about everything they do. Now, to me, that's a difference.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this comes into terms of I think, what is it? So I'm gonna coin a term that my friend Troy, you know, as he likes to be known as Yoda, came up with. He came up with this term, functionally DL. And he characterized men that are functionally DL as the guys that, you know, will go out on dates with the girls, but in a way where nobody he knows will find out. And like he'll to the girl, he's showing, hey, I'm open, but really nobody in his life knows anything. His friends, family, nobody knows that he dates trans women. But on the flip side, over down in the village, they're going out to get pizza, they're going out to do this, or they're going somewhere else in a different part of the city and doing their thing in a way where nobody, they will never run into anybody. He won't run into anyone from work, from the church, from his family, from high school, whatever. And it's like there are men that fit into that space as well. So we got the DL guys, we have the functionally DL guys, and then we have the guys that are discreet, which, you know, I'll say it like this. The discretion becomes a problem when, I believe the discretion becomes a problem when the woman makes it clear that she wants to be a part of your life and she wants to go public with your relationship. You're like, no. We're not going public with this, and nobody's ever going to know. Like, we're not going to do that. I think that's when we move into troublesome territory with the discreet conversation. But
that's actually moving from discreet to straight up DL.
There you go. The thin line. There you go. That's the thin line. Stepped over. But what do you guys think about the notion that that has been put forth by some of the ladies that, you know, there is a place for DL men in this whole ecosystem. In terms of DL men are here and they serve their purpose. And like, is it something that is actually safe, or is this something that we think is safe but it's going to burn us or burn them? I don't know.
I might become the bad guy on this one right now. But to play devil's advocate or whatever, yeah, like basically, if a woman is saying, like, you know, that there's a place in the community for the DL guy, let's face it, most of the time that place within the community is going to be when that DL guy is hitting them up just to pretty much pay them for sex. You know, basically the sex work is where it comes in, because most of the guys that are going to be going to that hotel room to do their thing, let's say about 85 to 90% of them are going to be DL guys.
Well, yeah, they pay for the discretion.
Exactly, they're paying for the discretion. Yep.
They pay for that. But you know, it's I think what's the girl who put forth this idea that there is a place for trade in the community. You know, there are just guys out there that we all know. There's brothers out there that just, you know, it's around for the fuck. And you know, look, these girls got to get laid too, and everybody can't be in relationships. So it's like, yo, this is a nigga I'm gonna just fuck, and I don't care if he's public about being in the trans world or not. I'm just trying to get my sex session in and get him the fuck out of my house. So you know, on that side, I know they call it trade, but is trade typically DL? I don't know. I don't know anything about
I don't know about
that. Okay.
That falls into the line of trade. That's not necessarily DL. Like DL is a guy that comes to their door to pay them for sex, and it's like looking around, making sure nobody's seeing them, blah blah, stuff like that. Like the little guy that doesn't want to be caught up in the, you know, up in the world of trans women. But it's like trade is more so like considered like community dick. Like, you know, like this girl has been with that guy, and like now it's like, you know, okay, you know, that's all he's good for is just dick.
I heard that, yeah. I heard also too is like he's a guy that I heard this term too for trade. He's a guy that looks masculine and looks like he's into
the hyper masculine.
Hyper masculine, but he's at the end of the day he does do his thing. Like in between, he does his thing on all aspects, which, hey, I mean, that's why I said when it comes to this lingo in this community, I'll be like, I don't be understanding nothing. What the terms are, anything. I just be like, I'm like, the only thing I understand is DL. I'm not DL. That's the only thing I understand. Everything else, I just like, because it's something new every day, you know?
That's true. That was the
and basically, the piggyback off of what's that again? The thing that you said, DL guys having a
functionally DL.
Huh?
You said functionally DL, or is that?
Them too. I'm just talking about the like girls that say the DL guys have a place in this community too. Now, I mean, I never heard that, but you know, hey, but I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna just say this because a lot of guys they used to complain about it. Really, not a lot of guys. It's one guy in particular that used to complain about it all the time, and I knew his reasons. But hey, whatever. But a lot of the girls, and when I come to realize, a lot of girls they see a guy that they're attracted to. It's about their attraction to the guy, regardless if he's DL, regardless of what. They are attracted to this guy. This guy is their type and everything. He's a type of guy all the way around. But at the end of the day, he's not fully on with this community. He's not fully out with his attraction for her. So yeah, I'm not gonna say here I understand it because I don't, because I can't be with someone that doesn't at the end of the day really want to be with me, and it seems like they're doing them a favor by being with them, and I'm like, why would you want to be with somebody like that? But at the end of the day, who am I to say anything or judge? Whoever you're attracted to, that's what you're attracted to, regardless. You know, you got girls that's attracted to you got black women that's attracted to white guys. That's what they're attracted to. You got black guys that's attracted to Hispanic women. That's what they're attracted to. It's just, I mean, it's just what your attraction is to, I guess. So more so that, you know, the DL, supposedly DL guy be most of the times the girls be the ones that the girls are mostly attracted to. I mean, that's basically what it is with me. I mean, I'm not no hater or nothing like that. That's your business, hey. But you know, that's what it is.
I'm gonna just share so you know, when I say these things, everybody, I am not saying this as a bitter guy who wasn't picked or anything like that. But I am speaking largely for some of the guys that I know. So I'm sharing a sentiment right now, and there is a sentiment out there with some guys that say, "Hey, you all complained about DL men and how much they hurt you. And so now why do you turn around and accept them, even though all the guys that you complain about that hurt you are these dudes, but you still let them in? So now, you know, what our friend Roy ran into this earlier today, he was, you know, blasting DL guys right and left. And then he's just like, but then some of the girls was like, not 100% with him on it. And he's just like, all right. And I shared the sentiment to him. I was like, yeah, well, look, man, that's, I say it like this. At some point, either it's a problem or you fucking with it, in my mind, because I can't hear all the jibber jabber about I'm hurt and these men do all this and this to us, but then there's still an accepted form of currency. Like, you know, it's kind of like, and I'm gonna make enemies here. It's kind of like listening to a heroin addict complain about like the drug, and it's like, but you're still doing it. It's like you're doing this thing that's bad for you right now, but you want me to sit here and listen to how bad it is for you. Now I can listen, but eventually I'm gonna get tired of listening, and I'm gonna get tired of the it's so bad. This thing it does so much to me, but you're gonna continue to do it. Now I get heroin is different because that's a very strong addiction, and this is something else. But I was just really trying to make the analogy of something that's harmful to you, but you continue to cap for it or allow it. But you know, and I don't. Okay, so after saying that, I also understand this is a limited dating pool, and people sometimes have to settle. So I do recognize that side of it as well. You know, not all the guys out here. There are way more DL trade motherfuckers than there are guys like this who are in this to look for, you know, partnership, lifelong partnership, family, all the good things in life that comes with relationships. But you know, there's not that many of us, so it's just, you know, I get that side of it as well. That I mean, you got to get your love some way, somehow, you know, or get something that feels like love to you, or get some sort of validation. I don't know what the feeling is exactly, but on some level, you got to get that, and you're just kind of stuck with the shit. So I get that as well. There's just so many different sides of all this shit. But you know, this DL conversation, we talked about it in the second episode of this podcast, and we're back at the DL conversation again now because I feel like it's going to be a recurring theme in terms of the dissatisfaction with guys like us or guys who do the mental work and get themselves ready and get themselves to a place where they're ready to date women openly and be a positive force in a lot of women's lives. And then they're looking at these niggas that didn't do any work and they still get the girls. And you know, I think there's going to be dissatisfaction on that level from multiple guys. And okay, all right, Amelia. I'll cut grass with the toenail clipper before I entertain the DL man. I fuck with that, and I appreciate that resolve. I do. I appreciate the fuck out of that resolve. But you know, guys listening to this again, please understand that if you deal with somebody in the community, they are not representative of the whole. Huh? What'd you say, Terrell? I think he's on delay. I don't know.
I said, as you should.
Yeah, right. As you should.
You know,
right.
Yeah, and I mean
this is the shit right here. This is that shit, and I've alluded to this in the earlier episodes. But Ashley asked, "In where do we find men like yourselves?" But honestly, I don't ever meet guys like y'all willing to date, etc. Most men are afraid to commit with girls like us. Honestly,
New York City.
Huh?
It's like New York City.
Yeah, right, man. Don't make me have to try and come after one of y'all for trying to take all the girls to New York again.
Yo, dog, you already know you got to pass, bro.
New York, shit. Again, this is a situation where There are just people that aren't visible. But then you know what? I think, I don't know. I'm just saying, I've known guys that have tried to earnestly hit up a woman, start conversation that was not sexual. You can see he was coming correct. And, you know, like I would just say, ladies, if you get a guy like that that seems like a nice dude, see where that conversation go. Don't chase or kick him out. Like give him, I'd give him a chance. But hey, look, it's really hard. Ashley, if I could, I would make an app just for people like us, people like you, and you know, keep everybody else out that is about the bullshit. But you know what? There's a lot of fuck niggas out there that's claiming this shit too. You know, it's a lot of fuck niggas. It's like, yeah, I'm transamorous, this, and this, and I'm one of the good guys, and I'll be this, and this. And then they're like, yeah, but I'm not really here for a relationship. Or they'll lead you on or do some fuck shit. And I mean, it happens too. Like there is no monolith of perfect guys in a way that it's easy to find us. Which
yeah, but also you got to take into consideration too. It's like, you know, yeah, the transamorous community might be kind of small right now, but it's also because, you know, we're fairly new too. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, it was all DL, which is why a lot of us that are stepping out of that shadow and being open, it's like, yo, like, you know, we don't agree with that past of how it used to be. You know, we're trying to move forward. You know, and if you really look at like the cis community, you even got in the cis community, they got their problems. You know what I mean? Like they got their dudes out there that might front and be like, yo, like, you know, I'm looking for a relationship, and then they're wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and they're fucking gone. You know, so I mean, it doesn't matter what community it is. You really got to like put your glasses on and look and see like, okay, yeah, this dude is doing the right things right now. But then when he fucks up, I'll call him out. You know what I mean? Like that kind of situation. So it's just like any community. You know, you got to kind of go for the guy that's showing you the right thing.
And fellas listening to this, that is an important point he made right there. There are a lot of dating problems in this. There are a lot of dating problems that transcend the trans community. It just happens, period. Like there are just dating, like there, you know, you will get it. You will, just like in the cis world, there will be girls that are ratchet that ain't got nothing, trying to take what you got, and that's trying to target you and use you. And there will be people that aren't faithful, and there will be people that lie, but there will be people that are honest and earnest and have your best interest in mind. And people that are trying to build something with you. Like there are good girls and bad girls out there, just like there are good guys and bad guys out there. You know, in general. So it's just, I really would love for us to get away from, you know, the absolutes and just move to a place where we know that there are good people out there, even if you haven't found them, even if you'll never meet them. I don't know how to bring everybody together. I mean, honestly, I just wish all the people that met. I found more people that was about, you know, hanging out and going on dates and just trying to, you know, find somebody on dating apps. Dating apps have been really good to me. The Tammy app has been great. There's a lot of women on there that are serious about finding a man, and there's a lot of men on there that's serious about finding a woman. And obviously, you got some idiots in there that jump on these dating apps that aren't serious. But you know, hold on, I gotta put this comment up here before we go ahead, Mike, because this is for you. This is for you. It's from Amelia again. I lived there for 5 years, New York City. Couldn't find a guy that wanted to be serious.
That's because she was going
for and she was just like, and Ashley, Amelia, I live in New York currently, born and raised here. You're so right. My problem isn't picking them up. It's meeting a genuine nice dude.
Wow, in New York?
They're probably looking in the wrong places. They're probably in the Bronx or something.
Oh, Lord, no.
Yo, but
what we're not going to do is talk about the Bronx on this podcast right now. We are not making that connection.
True. Yeah,
we're not hopping on the petty train today, guys.
Yeah, but no, I was just gonna make one point before. It's like, you know, when you were talking about like unity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of get away from those DL dudes and the ones that are being problematic, how about the serious transamorous men and the serious trans women, like just build some unity, like, you know, unite as an entire community as opposed to just, you know, fighting back and forth because you don't know how to take one person or the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, some real unity.
I mean, look, there's again, no matter what efforts there are out there, you know, there just will be the elements you don't want are going to seep through. That's I'm not even going to lie, and I'm gonna put this out on public. I toyed with a friend, or I was toying with an idea with a friend about a dating app, and I'm like, how do we make a dating app where we can screen people out and only serious folks are in there? But then it would just look like, honestly, it would look like we were trying to keep all the sex workers out. And
Yeah, but see,
we can't directly do that because, you know, these girls deserve love too, and I'm sure that could be their, you know, exit to a better life. I don't know, or just be the impetus to get them to grow past that or move past it. I don't know, but
yeah, but see,
we never.
Yeah, but see, I wasn't talking about just dating. I was talking about just like in general to kind of build a better community. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
I am a part of one group like that. I am a part of one Facebook group like that, and you know what's funny? The group was just like no nudes, no thirst trap pictures, no this, no that, and like all the things that a lot of you see from a lot of girls in these groups, and then none of the girls are posting. And they're just like, dang, because he said no this, no that, no this. Y'all ain't got nothing else to contribute. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna bring as soon as I find this motherfucking post, I'm gonna bring that shit up and I'm gonna tell you what it said because it is. I think this is it. Yeah. All right. And this is just anonymous group. I'm not gonna say which group it is. But you know, the admin was just like, I've been wondering why there's very few members posting in the group. Finally, it came to my attention if ladies in here aren't posting pics of themselves half naked or talking about the men, they're not interested in posting in this group. And they just said, why is that? Now the women are having that conversation, but really that makes up a large portion of the posts you see in these groups. Are we gonna talk about the men, or am I gonna post some half naked, you know, thirst trap pictures so I can get likes?
I mean that's what Instagram is for, right?
Fuck yes, fuck yes. I will be there to double tap on all the photos. Goddamn, all the photos.
Especially Dre and Logan.
Shout out to Dre and Logan, my man. That Dre, you know what? And this is funny. I'm gonna let everybody in on what happens in our group sometimes. Once in a long while, somebody will come up in conversation and like everybody be like, hey man, stop talking about my girl. So we got this thing for like, what is it? Haley?
Hallie Sahar.
Hallie Sahar.
Yeah.
Hallie Sahar comes up, a story where Hallie Sahar comes up in a group, and it's an entire fucking meme war fight over like, no man, that's my girl. No, that's my girl. You better stop talking about my future wife like that. And it's like meme after meme, and it just turned this big post. It was just so funny.
I
like that sometimes.
I love Haley Sahar. I do. I love her. But MJ Rodriguez got my heart though. So.
Oh yeah. That is one thing I know about Mike. That is his queen to be. I can't get up that high in the octaves, or else I would try and sing it, but we ain't gonna do that.
Yo, she lives close to New York. She right there in Jersey, Mike. You might have a chance.
I know she's from Elizabeth.
Wait, hold on. We got another New York comment here. So
what's up?
It was when I first moved to New York that I experienced a man being embarrassed to be seen with me at dinner. He asked me to leave out before him and he'd meet me down the street. I left his ass altogether high and dry.
He was probably from Long Island.
Better have. Huh?
Yeah, he was probably from Long Island.
That is some
from
shit.
The city.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
he
is
from NYC. You're right.
whack as
He
fuck.
might be from Staten Island also.
Actually, yeah. Staten Island do that fuck shit. Yeah.
Do that fuck shit. Ashley said that's why I got off dating apps. Got tired of getting winky pics. Oh yeah, dick pics. I'm like, winky. What are you talking about? Sorry, dick pics. Yes. But my answer to
I
that
already know
to
she's
the
being
dick pic
PG-13
problem.
about it. I ain't mad at her.
My answer to the dick pic, to the dick pic problem is the same. It never changes. Niggas is doing that shit because they work on somebody. They work on something. He sent a dick pic to 20 girls, and one of them was like, "Ooh, that look good, Daddy. What's going on?" The shit worked.
I'll be
It's
honest with you.
inappropriate as fuck, but it worked.
I'll be honest. I've never sent a dick pic before.
I've never sent an unsolicited dick pic before, but
You gotta put
unsolicited.
Yeah,
Sexy conversations get a little hot and heavy sometimes. It happens. What are you gonna do?
right. I got asked for it.
Yeah. You gotta read the room, fellas. Read the room. No unsolicited dick pics, please.
Yeah, I won't even send it solicited because I'm just like, yo, if you really want to see it that bad, just come over. I'll show it in person. Yeah.
That's the luxury of New York. That's the New York spoiledness talking there, sir.
Facts, just hop on the F train.
You on the F?
Huh? I got the F near me, I got the 6 near me, I got the 4 near me, and the 5.
Wow, you good.
Oh, the trains.
Right. I got the ANC near me.
Oh, no, that I used to take the ANC out to East New York when I used to do something else new.
Oh,
yeah. Everybody, they're talking about trains right now in New York. I only know this because I went there a couple times.
Wait. Yeah, yo, we're not talking about running trains. Get it straight. It's not.
Subway.
Not New York subway trains.
Yeah.
But look, I appreciate you fellas for joining me today. You know, I just hope some of the guys listening to this, you know, kind of got a peek into how things are out here, and also maybe, you know, some of the guys who might have got a peek at what's happening out here. You know, I don't know, maybe just learn a little bit something. But you know, at the end of the day, fellas and ladies, let's all lay off each other. We're very. No, I am not from New York. I am from Wisconsin, and I live in Texas right now.
But you got a New York pass.
I got my Metro card right here, though.
Oh, nah, no, you don't. Let me see that shit.
Yeah, I got the Metro card right here.
Yeah.
Right here. I'm ready for it. If New York come calling, I could be there next week. But see, Metro card.
See, I got mine's in the wallet in the other room.
Yeah, I still got my Breeze card from Atlanta too. So on the MARTA train. But anyway, everybody, you know, we just got to take it easy on each other, y'all. Really, I think a lot of times we're very hard on each other. So men, women, we really just need to have a little bit more understanding, a lot more grace with each other, and understand that. I think the disconnect is as well is that men are not counted as a part of this community, and we absolutely are. And I think we need. I'm not saying we're the whole community and we have all the voices in the community. I'm just saying for this community to be whole in the way that it needs to be, there needs to be inclusion, and we all need to come together. For people to be less sad and less depressed and just feel less despair, we need to come together. So, you know, I really think as the trans community, we got a lot of work to do in bringing folks together and just being one, moving forward in lockstep with each other in support of each other. You know, we got to get to that point. So please be peaceful. Let's not make war. We need to come together. That's the message for everyone. All right. So with that, Brother Mike, tell them where they can find you, man.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Mike Brooklyn. I got a podcast called the Real Talk Podcast. I've had Chris on there a bunch of times. Waiting for Trell to come on and join me on there one day.
No
doubt.
And I'm in Brooklyn, so let me know.
I know that. I mean, I usually do it over the phone, but it's all good.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I take COVID tests every week, so all right. But over the
cool.
phone, I wouldn't mind doing that. Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. So on my Twitter, you'll find my podcast, and you'll find other podcasts that I post on there as well because I show the love. So I've posted the Men Like Us podcast on there before and a bunch of others. Yeah, and like just hit me up on there, add me on Twitter at Mike Brooklyn, and it's all good.
What's up, brother Trell? Where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Facebook, King Cleatrell, Instagram, King Cleatrell, Twitter, King Cleatrell. Everything is King Cleatrell. Right here.
Now,
Just right. Find me. Hit me
for
up.
those of
Don't be
you,
shy. You want to be acquainted or ask questions? I'm an open book. Holla at me. All right.
fellas, reach out to
I'm a
us.
little leery about the guys, but guys too, y'all can holla at me.
Reach out, fellas. Reach out. But for the few of you that have lasted this long, and everybody listening on podcasts has lasted this long, got to tell you about the next stream we got coming up. We are finally going to tackle the whole narrative of transamory equals fetishizing. We are going to have that conversation. We are going to share our ideas about it, and we just going to get into it. So, you know, a lot of people out there think men who date women in the trans community specifically are fetishizers. And we say that's bullshit. So we're going to get into it, and, you know, I'm gonna have some new voices on there and who have never been on this podcast before. We're gonna share. We're gonna make it happen. So please join us for that next stream. It's coming up on Saturday, and we are definitely gonna get it in. So, but until next time, I will holler at all y'all later. Be peaceful. Enjoy yourselves. Be happy out there.